Welcome to the Keeping It Positive podcast, presented by the Positive Inception, helping people become more positive and trying to make the world a better place, one episode at a time. And now here's your host, Ryan Benoit.
Hello, thank you so much for tuning in to another great episode of the Keeping It Positive podcast. First off, I just want to apologize. I know it's been a few weeks since we've launched our latest podcast, but sometimes it's hard to coordinate with guests, and some people want to do a couple weeks from now or a month from now or so on and so forth. So I'm doing my best to try to stay consistent, but we have so many amazing guests, and I think it's worth the wait. And this episode is no exception. This guest is no exception. Sarah Beskorowany, she is one of the most amazing persons I've ever met, and we've been friends for a long time. She is probably one of the funniest persons I've ever met. You'll realize that in the podcast. We laugh a ton, and we have so much joy. And I think laughter is truly the best medicine. And she she exemplifies that. And she's just the best. And wherever she goes, she always tries to make people laugh and gets people out of her shell and sees the good in everyone and everything. And she's just a ray of sunshine wherever she goes. And I really feel like it shows in this podcast. We talk a little bit about everything, about her career path, about her family life, about traveling the world, and so on and so forth. She's such an amazing person. And a lot of the times people, when I ask if they want to be on it, they're like, oh, what can I offer? What can I don't know what to say. And they're nervous, but that's what it's all about. I think it's important to show how great people are. And this platform or podcast has allowed me to do that and reconnect with old friends and have amazing conversations. And life gets so busy. And I think people listening to this, like we I learn every single podcast and different perspective and different maybe things that people say, and it makes you think. And and that's what I want when people listen to this is take away little words of wisdom, or take away different perspective, or something that can help that person saying it. It can maybe help someone else. And I think we're all human beings, and we all have a heartbeat. We all breathe the same air, and we all go through challenges and experiences, and highs and lows and everything in between. And I think when we talk about different things, I think it's really relatable to everyone. And I think just talking about our problems, or talking about our successes, or talking about what we're going through, advice and things that helped one another, I think it's all relatable. And I think it can all help so many people. I think Sarah's just that great example of just living life to the fullest, and seeing the good in everything, like I said, and trying. And she mentioned a couple quotes, and she mentioned a quote a couple times is, you don't lose, you win, or you either learn. And I think everyone wins or everyone learns, and sometimes it's a very big learning experience, but it makes you better overall. And I think every experiences that we have in our lives, that's how we learn, and that's how we grow, and that's how we get better, and that's how we improve. And I think um, knowing Sarah for the person that she is, yeah, she's very, very personable and outgoing and kind and respectful and all these amazing qualities. But she works so hard, and it shows what she's able to do with her life, and the mom that she is, and the partner that she is, the wife that she is, and everything. And I think being able to have her friend like that, and being able to get her to do this podcast, even though she was nervous, and but it didn't show. And we were laughing a little bit about it before the podcast started. And Ryan, I'm so nervous, and my palms are sweaty, mom's spaghetti, and that's what she was saying. But she did an amazing job, and I really think that there's so much insight, there's always so much little wisdom in this talk, and hopefully you guys enjoy it as much as I did recording it, as much as I did hanging out with her for an hour and a bit. So, without further ado, I feel like I always ramble on in these introductions, so we'll get straight to the meat and potatoes, the good part. So, this is episode number 37 with the amazing Sarah Beskorowany. Well, Sarah, thank you so much for agreeing to do this. This is something I've been wanting to do forever, and I'm happy our schedules were able to work out. You're one of the busiest girls I know, so I really, really appreciate you taking the time, and I think you're one of the perfect guests for this. So this is going to be absolutely awesome.
Thanks, Ryan. It's an honor to be able to be on your podcast.
The,
Just chill conversation with you.
the honor is all mine. I know when I was writing a bit of an outline to send to you, there's so many things that I wanted to talk about.
No, I noticed. It's the biggest outline I've ever seen in my life.
I did write quite a few, but I think just because you're so amazing and there's so many different parts of your life that you've done so many great things, and I was like, how are we going to compress this in an hour? But we're going to be laughing the whole time and joking around, and this is going to be so much fun.
We're going to need a week. We're going to need multiple episodes to get through it all. When you send me that, I'm like, is this guy serious? Now you got me thinking.
It's good. Sometimes it's good to reflect on all the great things you've done in the past, right? I feel like sometimes in life, like we just go about day-to-day things and we don't realize what we've done and what we've accomplished. And sometimes like things like this is a good reminder, you know?
Absolutely. It's like time to reflect. And I was like, oh my gosh, I have done a lot.
Yeah, you did. You're an all-star. But I guess how I wanted to start this is kind of talk a little bit about what you've done and kind of like your different industries. Like when I was doing research, I was like, holy moly, you've done so much, like in the hospitality and education and marketing and corporate events and different things like that. Like how, like when you think about your journey, like one thing kind of led to another, but how do you think like everything kind of unfolded?
I honestly think it's like my free spirit. I've never until now I'm pretty locked into my career, but until now I was kind of just fly by the seat of my pants. I wanted to take advantage of life as much as I could without. It was kind of like subconsciously. So I guess you can start like one of my first like jobs post-secondary was working at the radio station. So I was doing like the retro ride and like Hot 93.5 street team. So that was super fun, and then it inspired me to continue to do fun things. And then I went to work on cruise ships, and that was super fun. And living in the South Pacific, so like I never really wanted to stop the journey. Never wanted to stop having fun. It just kind of so happened that then I married Tyler, who was playing hockey overseas, and then I got to continue to travel and live such cool experiences through that. And then we had kids. And it has slowed down substantially, but in a good way, obviously, in a really good way. We were both, kind of setting our roots and digging into our careers, and I hope that my kids will also want to live that kind of life. Like, I hope that they're also going to be, to an extent, free-spirited and go and travel and see the world. Because I don't think that there is like better education in this world than travel and exposing yourself to other countries and ways of doing things. So that's me in a nutshell.
And I think like like knowing you and seeing your kids, I think they have so much in you, and they're so outgoing and personable and hilarious. And I think like looking back on your journey and what industries you've done, like every job you've done, it's like you have to be so personable, right? And that's like your personality. You're such like a ray of sunshine. Everywhere you go, you talk to anyone and everyone, and you joke around with people you don't even know, and people are like, this girl is probably nuts, you know?
Literally fucking nuts. I think it's also, though, not to be confused, because it's also like a coping mechanism. So I use humor in situations where I'm like, I mean, I use humor all the time, but I'll also use it in situations where I'm uncomfortable or nervous. I'll like turn to a joke, and then sometimes I'm like, oh, Sarah, that was too much. You shouldn't have said that. Then I got to cover that with another joke, and then we just, oh, God. I can imagine that some people who met me were like, what the fuck was even that?
And that's the thing too. Like sometimes you gotta break the ice, and they say laughter is the best medicine. And sometimes when you're uncomfortable, even when I'm uncomfortable, like if I would get in when I was a kid, when I would get in trouble by my parents, I would just laugh in their face, and then it would get them even more mad. And it's just like
I
I
still
think
do it. I still do it with Tyler. Like if he gets mad, I'm like,
your husband, your husband's giving you shit, and you're just laughing.
yeah, because I'm so uncomfortable, and then I'll make an inappropriate joke about feelings, and then I'm like, oh, Sarah, you need therapy.
You're just digging yourself into a hole.
Always, always. That's okay.
But I think that's what makes you so great, right? You always see the lighter things in life, right? And I think in any situation, whether it's awkward or a difficult situation, I think if you can laugh about it and see the good in everything, that it makes life so much easier.
Absolutely. I think that, yeah, I think it's so important to not take life too seriously. I mean, you see these, you hear so many, like especially the world right now and what's going on. It's just so important to find humor and to keep that alive and to keep your sense of laughter alive. You feel so good. Like laughing for 30 seconds will make you feel so good. So in my perspective, I don't like to take life too seriously. Of course, when there's a time and a place, like, you have to take something seriously, but
Even when even when I first pressed record, like yeah, we were both nervous, and then we just the whole time. I think it made it easier.
I'm still internally just laughing. It's good.
We're doing good. We're doing good. And I think when we're able to sometimes when we're nervous, it's like the same feeling as excitement. Like I think it's exciting to be good and internally laugh, and no matter what can happen, I think everything is going to turn out if you have that good perspective, right?
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, absolutely. Everything you just said. Hang on, Rai Rai.
But I also wanted to kind of talk a little bit about what you're doing now with Komatsu and like an events coordinator. I think that's perfect for you. I remember you when you told me about it when you first started. I was like, this is the perfect job. Like you're so personable and you love doing events and organizing things and making things look great. And I wanted to kind of talk a little bit about that because isn't Komatsu like in the mining industry?
Yeah, so we are definitely in the mining industry. We essentially build mining machines.
Yeah.
I work in the underground sector of it, so we build machines for underground mining.
Mhm.
And we often joke, Tyler and I often joke that the job was literally made for me. Like when we seen the job posting, actually it was sent to me by a coworker slash friend of mine. And when she sent it to me, I was like, "This is a trap. Was this job literally made for me?"
Yes.
And we joke about it all the time. Like I can never leave my job because it was created just for me.
But you like you saw the job posting and then when you went to the interview, I was like, this is her girl. Like it's made for her.
I'm hoping that's what happened. I'm hopeful, but yeah, I I've seen the job posting. So we had just come back from living in Belfast, and I was working. It was summer, so I was working part time at the golf course in Chelmsford, and a coworker of mine, now coworker of mine, had sent me the job posting, and I was like, of course I have to apply. But I kind of put it off a little bit, and I was like, a little bit of that imposter syndrome, like this is the perfect job on paper for me, and I would love to do it, and I think it would be the best opportunity, and all my wheels were turning, and then I was like, but I'm not good enough. I don't think I'm good enough, and so I kind of left it off, and then she reached back out, and she was like, hey, it's the last day, you should really apply. And ah. And then I had heard that other people had applied, and I was like, oh, I hate rejection. I hate failure. And so I hope I get it, but if I get it, I don't want to fail at it. But here we are. It's so fun.
And you got it. And sometimes like you have that feeling of like you don't want to fail or you don't want to get rejected, but you don't know if you don't try, right?
That's
And if
exactly.
you and if you didn't try and if you didn't go for it or if your friend didn't tell you not to apply, you would not like you would have not it was 100% guarantee that you would have not got it, right?
That's it. That's it. And that's what Tyler was saying too. He's like, you have nothing to lose, just apply. And she works there currently, so she obviously sees this potential in you, and she sees that you could be a good fit. So apply. And with a good push from my circle, I did, and here we are, almost years later.
I mean, time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah, so fun, so fun. It's
So
right up my alley, and I mean, I learn every day. There's no day that goes by where I'm not learning something new, or getting involved in like something extremely challenging. But the challenge, I actually deeply love the challenge. So it's it was the perfect job nearly 2 years ago, and it still feels like the perfect job today. So it's
see
good.
that's what you want, right? And you want a job that kind of challenges you, that you learn every day. And I think if you're stagnant, if you're staying the same all the time, that means you're not growing. That means you're comfortable, and then you can like you get surpassed, so to say, right? If you learn every day, and you grow and you're challenged, that's when you're challenged and you're out of your comfort zone. That's when you're able to learn new things and grow and get better and improve, right? And ultimately, if you improve, it'll help you with your job, and then like the company will flourish in its own way too.
That's exactly, yeah, exactly it. I think you nailed it. If you stay stagnant for too long, you end up being comfortable in that kind of zero momentum. And then what? You're just gonna live your whole life here? No thanks. Not for me. Go for this, girl. My whole life has been like this. I'm not gonna stop now. To be honest.
And I think that's what's so amazing about like there's so many like turns. It's like your life is kind of like a roller coaster with like the loopy
Some
loop
people have to
up
like
and
say that
down.
every time I talk to you, because I'll go like years without talking to people. I have a massive, I guess, circle of friends, if you will. And they're like, every time I talk to you, you're doing something different. You've either moved, you're in a different country, you're having another kid, you started another job. And I love it. And I guess like each their own. Some people maybe don't, they're kind of scared of change or they don't love change, and that's okay too. But I think that's where I excel, is in like the shift and the movement and the constant vibration, if you will.
And like the thing that why you're so successful is because you embrace change, and when an opportunity presents itself, no matter what, you're like you hit it head on, right? And you
Yeah,
try.
let's do it. I'll dive. That's very much like my personality. Is if I'm gonna do something, I'm diving full in. There's never a time where I'm just, I'm like, oh, I'll try it and see how it is. No, I'm going in full impact.
If you're doing it 100%, let's go.
Let's go. We're going all in.
Yeah.
We don't do things half-ass in my world.
Oh, I love it. And that's how you should do things. And I think, like people listening, like I think that's a good thing too. Is whatever you do, go all in or try 100%, and don't half-ass it, and don't go like halfway. Just try to jump right in.
Yeah, and like, this is a quote that my husband says all the time, and it kind of has always stayed in the back of my mind since knowing him. And it's, there's never a time to fail. You always win or you learn. So
Yeah.
dive in, and you're either going to be super good at it and everything's going to be great, or you've learned a huge lesson and you can carry that through, the rest of your life, or this opportunity, or whatever the case is.
I love that. Like you either win or you learn, right? There's no.
You win or you learn. You're not losing. There's no.
Sometimes
That's
it's
the mindset. You have to flip it.
sometimes it's a shitty, it's a like a shitty learning experience, but
It's a real shitty learning experience. And it feels like a loss, that's for sure, but it's still learning. We still learn something. Whether it be you learned that that person was a complete fucking jackass, that's a learning experience. Learn.
And you know not to deal with them anymore.
Exactly, I learned. Or I learned how to deal with those fucking jackasses. There's there's always
Yeah. And yeah, like you said, there's always like, and sometimes when stuff like that happens, you don't you don't know why like people act the way they do. But the thing that I've always learned is like no one's gonna be like you, right? Everyone is different, and um, everyone goes towards situations differently, and they're not everyone's gonna react the way you did or treat people the way you would treat them, and then that's why sometimes it's so confusing. Like why would someone do that, you know? But just I think we stay true to ourselves and the person that we are and treat people the way we want to be treated and don't worry about what other people's opinions are. I think we'll turn out to be ahead of the game for sure.
and we can't forget that those particular people that you end up having to deal with that were a little less than pleasant. Like you don't know their story, you don't know what they've been through, you don't know what their learning experience has been. So they're that way for a reason. And
Mm,
figuring out how to navigate those types of people, and sometimes it's like again, bring in a bit of humor and break them a bit, and then you learn that they might actually be half decent people, but they're just so hard. Who knows? But
yeah, they might be something too, right?
yeah, everyone's different. Everyone's been through different things, and I think the reaction of those things is what creates you and the person that you are. And some people have just maybe had less than good reactions to their experiences.
Yeah, and and when I wanted to also ask about kind of like with and as working for a mining company, and this was probably one of the last questions about that. Like as an event coordinator, like what kind of events do you put on a day-to-day basis?
So events in my role in particular is very fluid term. So event could be, there's like 4 or 5 people traveling in from. We're a global mining company, so we have people in Mexico, South Africa, Australia.
That's cool.
We have people everywhere. Japan, we're Japanese-based companies. We have a lot of people in Japan. So an event could be as small, if you will, as having like a few people flying in from around who are coming just to visit our factory and learning about the new machines that are up and coming. So that would just include like getting them some hotels, making sure that they're fed when they're at the office, transportation to and from, the tours of the facility, that type of stuff. And then we also do like big corporate events. So um, every year we do an executive event. So we have a team of executives, and there's kind of some people from all over the world that form this leadership team that we call them. And so every year we do a leadership meeting, and this year it's happening in April, and we're hopeful that it's going to be in Arizona. But in the previous years it's been here, so transformed our. So funny enough, if we have time for this story, when I first started the job, I got hired in June, and my first pretty much day at work, they were like, "All right, so we're hosting the leadership meeting in February and August. Here's what we have so far, and off we go. We need to have all these people here, and we need to coordinate this, and we would like to see the shop turned into like a hall." And I was like, "Oh dear, okay, I've got my work cut out for me." So within 2 months, we managed to do exactly that. Had this massive event. They lodged at Corny Mountain Lodge. So they had some activities there, and they did some like hiking and paddling and stuff like that. And then they came to our office, and we turned the entire shop factory at McGill into a hall. So we had like tables, caterers. We put up sort of like silks to like hide some of the machines. It ended up being amazing and beautiful, but that's the scale of event that it can be. They also do like Mind Connect events and stuff like that. So I'll often coordinate like who's going to those things, getting there, the hotels, blah, 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 marketing materials we might send just from our office. that. And then we like to get involved in the community as well. So we did like the Japan festival last year, and we just like to throw a machine at an event and some people around just to, for exposure and be a little bit more forward facing in the community. So those are all types of things that I either plan fully or help plan, or like conceptualize and then get a team together to make it happen. So no 2 days looks.
That's super cool. Like you wear so many different hats.
Yeah,
You could
yeah,
be a
but
little bit of everything.
just
Like
who I am.
a lot, a lot, a lot of organizing and then planning and different things, right? That's like, and it's so cool that you said like no 2 days are the same and everything is different. You don't know what's gonna happen, and I think
Yeah,
that's the fun part of it.
it really is. And again, that's what I was just about to say is like, that's just who I am. I'm this person who loves to ride a wave. So the job just parallels that perfectly.
And that's why I think people like that's why you're so successful in this role, is because it's a large part of it is like it matches your personality. And when people like they do when they're with their work and they match who they are and their values and character, I think that's what makes it a good match, right? And like a match made in heaven. And it probably doesn't even feel like work for you. It's probably
Exactly.
fun.
Then it doesn't feel like a job. It doesn't feel
Yeah.
like a job. You're enjoying what you're doing. And I would say the same for you, Ryan. Like you're obviously very much enjoying your business and it's like overflowing for you. It's like the most beautiful bloom I've ever got the pleasure of experiencing. But you're enjoying it. So it doesn't feel like work. Like you love being in the store. I would imagine it feels like you love being in the store. And everyone who walks in, when you leave that conversation, you're like, oh, he's so good. Like he's just such a beautiful little ball of energy, and he's in his element, and it's just so nice. So I think the same could be said for you. Is it mustn't feel like too much of a job for you either being in the store. I mean, I understand that being a business owner, you have so many other things that we don't see in the background, but for the store itself, I'm sure it doesn't feel like work when you're there.
No, no, it's a lot of fun, and I think the reason why, like, I get to meet so many great people on a day-to-day basis, and then like they become friends, which is super cool. Or I haven't seen someone in a long time, and being able to chat with them and catch up, and or even like meeting people from out of town, or like even connecting people, like. If people go on trips and then they see like positive inception, oh, and then other people comment, oh, you must be from Sudbury, and like makes like a little community, which is really,
It's
really
so
cool.
cool. It's so cool. You get to just go to work and hang out all day. You just
Yeah.
hang out with some super cool people and sell some super cool clothes. Like what a dream.
Yeah, yeah. Hopefully you can keep it going for sure.
Well, I would imagine I think our city would feel very depleted without the positive inception.
But yeah, like and that's the thing too with the city. It's like it wouldn't be what it is without the amazing people, right? And you doing events and different things like that, and coordinating and working with, like, it wouldn't be possible without amazing people. Part of it too. And when when you kind of think about doing projects and leading teams and I wanted to kind of ask about what you learned, but like leading teams and projects throughout your career and like working with people to 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 make these ideas and become a reality, and dealing with different types of people and working on different projects, and like what how has it helped you become like a better person or a better leader in your overall job?
I think it's like building confidence. I honestly think that when you lead a project, there's always a level of confidence that you have going into that because a lot of these in my job today, a lot of these people that I deal with are executives. They're extremely successful people, and when I have to pitch an idea to them or ask them to do something, or give them an agenda and be like, "This is what you have to do." There's a level of confidence that you have to go in to that with. And I would say that 10 years ago, I may have not had that same level of confidence that I have now. But with every little push that I've had in every little other job or other situation, it's constantly building that confidence. And I was at a Christmas party once, and I was like, I'm going to pretend that whatever it was, let's say this lip gloss, I'm going to pretend that this is a microphone. I'm going to go around this room. I'm going to interview people. And I'm going to see if they're going to go along with it. And sure enough, if you go in with confidence and you give them, could be a toothbrush, and you put it in their face and you pretend to interview them, they will act like it's a microphone because you went in there confident. So I always remember that. I'm like, you can make anybody do anything if you're confident enough to do it.
That's so cool. And, you said a couple things that really resonate. Is that one, with all your jobs that you've done, it prepared you for what you're doing now, and I think that's a great metaphor for life itself. Like whatever we go through life, it brings us to the moment we are right now. It makes us who we are right now, whether it is with confidence or all the experiences. It gives us the confidence. It gives us the personality and the experience that allows us to flourish into what we're doing now. The second thing is having confidence to put yourself out there and to have conversations. And sometimes we get intimidated with people, right? And they say, oh, these guys are head honchos or these guys are so and so. But everyone is people and everyone talks the same and everyone acts like we're just individual human beings and not to put people on pedestals and we're all equal, right?
Absolutely. And I think that I've been taught from a young age that, like, you always treat the janitor the same way you would treat the CEO. Like,
Mhm.
everyone is just a person. Like you said, we all speak the same. We all do the same things. Everyone, everyone comes from the same, and we're all going to leave the same way. So, yes, some people, have extremely successful roles, and they seem like they're on top of the world, and that's fine. That's fine to appreciate that from them, but don't get intimidated by it. Learn from it. Like, be like, I want to be like that guy.
Yeah, and I think it's important to learn from others too, right? And then it's important to realize that we can do anything we want. We just gotta put our mind to it, and being able, like, there's a reason why people are where they are, and if you want to get to that, there's no reason why you can't achieve what other people achieve, right? Or you to create your own path to do your good thing.
Yeah, give her. You want to do it? Go. Fill your boots. Off you go. Like, those people didn't get there by sitting around on their couch playing video games in their mom's basement. No, they got up, they got dressed, and they went to do something.
Mhm. It's true. And and when I was writing this too, I don't know if you still do it, but like, yeah, your interior design like career so far, are you still working on that? Are you still
That
doing
is
it?
that is my number one passion, I would say, in life, is interior design and decor. I
Yeah.
don't do it as much as I once did, and I'm not overly active in it. Because life is busy. We have two kids. Everyone with kids and a job and all these things know. And even if you don't have kids, like, life today is so busy and it's so rushed, and there's just so much going on that I don't have all of this extra time to pour into it. And it's not like a little side gig that you can just do for an hour here and there. It's like you're taking on a project. It demands a lot of time and attention. So I still do a few projects here and there, especially for like friends and family, but and myself. I try to stay active in it for myself, and we'll be moving here shortly, so I get to like dive into it in whatever home we end up in. We just sold our house.
And I wanted to like do the correlation. It probably helps you with your event planning right now, rather like when you have to decorate everything. It probably
100%.
goes hand in hand, right?
100%. And I'm a person who like strives on and reaches for like vibe. Like, I love a good vibe. I personally think that any environment you walk into, you're always going to feel a certain way. Whether you feel warm, you feel comfortable, you feel, it's a little bit stiffer, whatever that is. So I use those like design concepts in events, maybe on a much smaller scale, but you still use it. Like, the lighting. Do you want the event to be dim and a little bit more warmer, or do you want this to be like a bright in your face event? the decor, do you want it to be neutral and soft, or do you want it to be loud and in your face? Because that will create the vibe, and that will set the tone for the type of event that you're having, or that you're, rolling out.
I should. I just thought about this when you're talking, but I should. I bought a house and I should have asked you for some advice, but we're still doing rentals
All
right
right, get unfucked up there, didn't you? Enjoy your ugly house. No, just kidding.
now.
Hope you enjoy your ugly, cold, not conceptualized house. I'm totally kidding. I'm sure it's.
I might ask you for some advice.
You also have so many people in your circle. I'm sure people will direct you in the right direction.
Yeah, and it's going okay. All the rentals are going pretty good. The kitchen's coming in probably in a couple weeks, and then we're doing the floors next week. So everything's coming along.
When are you? This is way off topic. I'm sorry you could cut this out, but when are you expected to move in?
I don't know. It depends. It depends. Probably the next couple months because we got the new doors coming in like 6 to 8 weeks. So probably around then.
So fun.
Yeah.
Exciting. Good for you. So proud of you.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's exciting. It's something I've been looking forward to. So, but yeah, I'll have to send you some photos. I haven't been there in a while because with all the snow and stuff like that. But
yeah, I would love to see
photos. And then you're gonna be like, "What the hell? Why did you pick those colors?"
I would never. There's never a wrong answer. There's never a wrong answer. And like interior decor is very much subjective. It's like, if you like that color and it makes you happy, fill your fucking boots with that color. Go for it. Who cares what everybody else is putting in their house? If you want to paint your wall bright red with a yellow stripe, give her. If that's what you like, knock yourself out, and then we'll just build the room around that.
There you go. I think that's exactly what it is, right? Everyone has their own style and do kind of what makes you happy, right?
100%. There is no right or wrong answer, and I see so many TikToks around on that side of TikTok where it's like interior design do's and don'ts. And yeah, there are like some rules, if you will, but who wants to follow rules anyways?
Even when it comes to like Christmas time, and then like I always love seeing your photos of your house. It's like Christmas threw up in your house, which is amazing.
Yeah, that's my favorite time of the year. I love Christmas. I go balls to the walls with Christmas decorations, and everything is it just looks. I love a good little Hallmark movie moment in my own house.
That's exactly what it is. Your house looks like a Hallmark movie.
And it makes me feel so warm and cozy, and I love it. And some people probably walk in and they're like, "Oh God, oh, get out! The door's right there. Off you go. Bye."
The door's right there. Speaking of like getting out and go, like I don't know, this is a good transition, but getting out and like going out of your comfort zone and traveling and different things like that. Like I want to talk about like your hockey life with Ty, like traveling the world and getting out and going out of your comfort zone, like being able to see him play professional hockey in Belfast in Europe. Like that must have been such a cool experience for you, seeing like firsthand like your husband following his dream kind of thing.
It was. I will say probably one of the best experiences in my life, and one of the, I would say, like it was a chapter in my life where I probably learned most about myself. Because I was, you're out there and you're kind of alone, right? Like you're not alone because you're always involved in like team and people and whatever, but you're alone in the sense that like you don't have your circle of friends there, you don't have your family there, you have your kids. At one point we didn't have kids, so I had my husband. That was it. It's just him and I, and it felt like him and I against the world almost. And it's like you just learn so much about yourself. You learn how you take on challenge, how you take on uncomfortable situations, how you even the smallest things like seeing him lose an important game was like, oh, okay, these are emotions that I've never seen from him before. So I'm going to learn in this moment how I'm going to react to those emotions. Instantly, okay, shut up, grow up, fuck, it's a hockey game. Stop being a baby. But then I'm like, no, this is his life. This is like, they played, let's say, all year to win this, and they just lost in this moment. It's huge for them. For somebody on the outside, you're like, please, it's a damn game. But those are emotions that that I had never seen from him before. That's like this, I don't know, sad, defeated. And so I learned how to deal with that and how to see that and how to appreciate that, because I didn't appreciate hockey like I do now in the beginning. I seriously thought it's a fucking sport. But now I can appreciate it for what it is, because if somebody told me, if I had an event that bombed and somebody was like, who cares, fuck, it was a party. No, that's shitty. I put all of my effort into that.
Yeah, for sure. And do you think it helped you like with your relationship overall?
Yeah, we learned a lot about each other in those beginning years. A lot about each other. And I think you're thrown into so many uncomfortable situations, and like, some years were disastrous amongst the team, and you have to stick together. You two have to be a team to be able to conquer that world, if you will. And don't get me wrong, it's a beautiful world, and like, some people have a lot to say about the hockey world, and there are so many opinions out there, and that's fine. And there's like a big stigma on hockey players and whatever, but I've honestly met some of the best people in the world through hockey. Teams get so involved with the communities and with children in the communities, and I've lived some extremely beautiful moments and learned some extremely valuable lessons in that chapter of my life.
And even like to this day, like you still share a lot of like the Belfast like giant stuff and within the community and like I feel like they've embraced you and Tyler when you guys were there, right? Like you guys were a big part of that community and like how has Belfast impacted you like overall?
Yeah, Belfast, we joke all the time that Belfast is home. Austin, our oldest son, often will ask when he can go back home to Belfast. Like, that's his second home too. I mean, he grew up there. He was born, we left for Austria. He was like 2 months old. We lived in Austria for about a month. We came home for a few months, and then we were gone back to Belfast, and he lived in Belfast. He came home and turned 4. We lived in Belfast pretty much the first 3 years of his life, and he's only 5. So the majority of that little boy's life has been spent in Belfast. And like you said, they've embraced us, but we've embraced them, and we absolutely love that place so much. We love the people. It's like, ever you get the opportunity to go visit Belfast, it's a must. It's the most amazing place in Canada, as far as I'm concerned.
Well, we'll have to go one day. It'll be fun.
Yeah, we'll go together. We'll go together. Oh, the fear is I'll never come back.
We'll have to bring Allison McDonald too.
Yes, we brought her last June. We went back for we're playing in a few charity games, and we surprised Tyler with Allison. So funny. Allison and I had planned it for months. She was coming on this trip with us, but we had never told Tyler. And in the years leading up to this, when we lived in Belfast, we would often find ourselves at the pubs, and there's live music kind of everywhere. And we were like, every now and again, and I mean more often than not, we'd be like, oh my God, imagine Allie here. Oh, Allison would love this. Oh, could you imagine Allison here? And so Allison and I had finally planned that she was going to come, and we went back for that. It was like a little bit more than a weekend. And when we were leaving that morning, I said to Tyler, I said, oh, we just have to stop at Allison's for a quick bit. I'm going to borrow one of her hats for the trip. And so we pull into her house, and I was like, oh, come see her new house, because Tyler had never seen it. I was like, well, why don't you come in and see the new house, and then we'll hit the road. And so when he walked in, she had her suitcase at the door, her jacket was on, and she's like, all right, Dad, let's go. And he's like, where the fuck are you going? She's like, Belfast. So off we went. We had the time of our lives, and she'll blame me forever, but she accidentally got the wrong visa to go there. So you have to get a visa when you travel to Belfast, and like a permit to go for any length of time. And she accidentally got the wrong one, and she got like a 2-year visa. So I was like, "Oh, Allison, you're gonna stay." She's gonna end up staying. She's gonna end up staying for 2 years. She didn't. She came home, but it was definitely, yeah, it was so cool. It was so cool to finally have her there.
Could you use that visa again? Like, because it's 2 years. Could you go back?
Yeah, I think you can use it as much as you want within those 2 years. I think.
Okay, then you just have to go back.
Let's plan a trip. Let's start planning. I'm in.
There you go. We'll plan everything without her knowing.
Let's go. I'm sure Tyler could just put some skates on and get back out there.
Yeah, it's like riding a bike. The first couple games there.
He's fine. He's got no hips, no knees. He's fine. He eats nothing but chicken wings and chips since we've been home, but we'll figure it out.
What a dad today. He's still skin and bone, so it's okay. He's still tall and skinny and lengthy.
He's tall for sure. He's one of those two things. And he ain't short.
When thinking about your time there, I wanted to ask you, like, what's like one of your proudest moments of maybe watching him play?
Oh, there's a few that stand out. There's one, I wasn't there for the last trophy. So the league works that there are like 3 trophies at hand throughout the year. And it used to be very rare that one team would win all 3. They call it the treble. And it used to be like a rare, thing that one team would win them all. And the one year in particular, the Giants had won them all. But I was back home. I was pregnant with Cooper, so I flew home on time to deliver the baby. I didn't want to deliver the babies overseas, so I flew home just before the end of the season. And that year in particular, they won the treble, which was really cool. And I had a viewing party at home. We all watched that last game where they won that last trophy. So that was amazing. But there are some moments that stand out, and he was, like you said, really embraced there. He was like a fan favorite. Everyone loved him. But there's a little boy. His name was Blake, and he unfortunately recently just passed. And there's a moment where they had just won a trophy, and Tyler had Blake in his arms, and he did like a victory lap with him, and I made tears just thinking about it. But it was like, these little kids see them as heroes, and he stepped up and he was like that little boy's hero for that minute, and it was just really nice.
Yeah, and that's the great thing about sports, right? Is the athletes, like, and especially the good athletes, like Ty, they go above and beyond. Like, he didn't have to do that with that little boy, and just made it work.
And it's so special to see. And then I would say, like, the moment that struck me the most was his very last game playing. He brought both of our own kids on the ice for a victory lap, and he had ended up winning. So he had gone kind of through a lull at the end of that season. He wasn't doing great, and he played incredibly well in that game, and he ended up winning like man of the match or MVP. And it was his last game ever, and he brought our 2 kids on the ice, and it was like a really beautiful moment because it was like from where he started, this young boy from Hanmer, getting drafted and going out to live his dream, to where it's ending now. He's like a dad and a husband, and like it was really cool.
That was like the perfect ending for his career,
It was literally, you couldn't write it. You couldn't write it. It was so nice.
It's like a movie.
Yeah. Yeah, it really was. It was
like so many obstacles and challenges and ups and downs, and finishing on top with the 3 people he loves the most, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, it was beautiful. It was like a really, really, really nice moment.
That's awesome.
And then we cried.
Oh, go ahead.
I said, and then we cried.
I get it. I'm like getting a little emotional talking about it right now.
It was crying today, man. Jesus.
But like talking about like having the kids there, and and being a mom, like you talked about Austin and Cooper, and I wanted to like being a mom is like a life changing thing, and like being able to have a different perspective on life, right? And your priorities change for the better, and it's not all about you anymore, and like your career kind of changes, right? And you have the time management, and like what are some of the like maybe the biggest lessons you've learned about being a mom, and how has that helped you become better overall?
So many lessons. I'm still learning. I think I'm gonna learn until the day I die with these little boys. Um, Patience is a huge one, and it's one I still struggle with. But I've never been to. I've never been a super rewind. I've never been a super patient person. Struggled with patience most of my life. I'm learning like they're little. They don't get it half the time. So patience is huge. Um, and and honestly, I think that they're teaching me lessons I didn't even know I needed, and they're like healing this little inner child in me that I didn't realize was as broken as it was. You know what I mean? Like when you get to see the world from your kids' eyes and their perspective, and how they view things and how they feel emotion, and so the whole thing is just being a parent is just a lesson in its own. Like, oh man, and you want to give them the world, but then there's like, okay, I also don't want them to be spoiled brats, so we've got to dial it back a little bit. And then, oh, but I don't want them to be sad. Like learning just how to navigate a child's emotions is. I would love if there was like a handbook because I would need it. I would be the first person to purchase it. Yeah, just I think it's just an incredibly hard job, but an incredibly rewarding one. And again, there's no right way. There is definitely a wrong way to do it, but there's no perfect right way to do it. And just learning what works for you and your family and your kids, and because no two lives look the same. Like the life that Tyler and I lead is very different from maybe our neighbors. So what works for us might be very different for what works for them, and it's trial and error and routines. I don't know. The whole thing, Ryan. The whole fucking thing is hard.
And I think you said there's definitely a wrong way, but there's no right way. But I think the right way is just doing your best and giving your best effort, and
Yeah, and be
not
conscious. I think it's important to be conscious when you make parenting decisions. Like, don't just make a decision because, oh, well, because I said, like, no, you got, like, there's got to be rhyme and reason behind your decisions, and just being conscious of that and being conscious of your child's needs, their independent needs. Like, my two kids are totally different. They're both raised the exact same way by the exact same parents in the exact same environment. They are completely different kids. So what works for Austin doesn't necessarily work for Cooper, and vice versa. And learning that and unlearning, I think, is huge too. Like unlearning some stuff that maybe was instilled in me from my childhood, having to unlearn that and having to, break some cycles. That's huge. They're huge challenges, but extremely
Mhm.
rewarding.
and that's a thing of growth too. To what you've learned like through your childhood and trying to break the cycles or try something different, and then that's like you're learning as a parent as well. Like I was talking to a friend of mine too, Malk City. You know him. He's a
Yeah,
musician.
great
What-
guy.
I want him. I want him on the podcast. We're gonna do one too. But
Oh, he would be great.
yeah, it would be awesome. But we were talking about like being a parent, and even he has two kids that are amazing. It's like as a parent, like they have the same parents, but they don't really have the same parents because when one is born, you parent it maybe differently, and then you learn from the first one, and then the second one you might be more lenient, or you might do different things, and like even though they're the same parents, they might not be parented the same way because you learned from the first one, and then and then the second one you might do things differently, and I think that's extremely interesting, even though that it's the same household, it's same parents, but like they're different versions of the parents, because you've
A
grown your
hundred
parents.
percent.
Mhm.
100%. I think he's absolutely right in saying that. Absolutely right in saying that because that first one spins their whole world around, and it's everything's new. And you tell yourself, and like I did it, and I think everybody who's going to become a parent does it. You're like, oh, when I have kids, I'm not going to. When I have kids, they're going to be like this. Bitch, you don't get to decide how to do it, okay? No, trust me, now I know. But I was so guilty of it, like so guilty that my kids are never gonna watch a screen. Are you kidding me? Sometimes I need 5 minutes to do something, and it is maybe the only thing that can distract them for those 5 minutes so that I can get dinner ready, get who knows, get myself dressed. I'm not walking around looking like Adam Sandler. Like, they're like, my kids definitely watch TV. They don't have an iPad. They do see a screen, and I was so hell bent on my kids are never gonna have a screen because there's so many studies that say that the screen is bad. Well, fuck! The screen has been the saving grace.
And sometimes, like you said, you need like everything is good in moderation, right?
Oh
And
yeah. I mean, do we give them iPads and say off you go, fill your boots for the rest of the day? No, they get iPads is very limited. It's like road trips, pretty much.
yeah,
That's it. But the TV's on most of the time in our house. Doesn't mean we're sitting on the couch watching it actively. No, it's on. We're doing other activities. But sometimes I'm like, hey guys, you guys want to watch an episode of Blippi? Blippi is amazing. Perfect. He's like a babysitter in our house. You guys want to watch a quick episode of Blippi so I can get dressed and peel some potatoes? That's awesome. Great. You know?
yeah, and I think it's like I think it's as a parent you learn to be resourceful and you know what the right time is and what's not the right time and like I said, like use everything to your disposable, and if it can help in a way, then so be it, right? There's no cookie cutter way to be able to raise a kid, but trying to do your best effort and try to be the best person to lead by example. I think that's what it's all about.
Just raising like we kind of set some goals with like being parents. We were like, okay, sort of like what do we want to see these children do slash become, you know? And we both landed on I don't care if they're the smartest, I don't care if they're the best at sport or at an instrument. I don't care if they're the best at anything. You don't have to be the best at anything. You have to be kind, you have to be polite, you have to be respectful. Anything else will be a bonus. And just try hard. Just try. Like if one of my kids is a C student, perfect. Did you try to get that C and you got a C? That's excellent. Did you get that C because you didn't like apply yourself? Then I might be a little bit. Then I might be a little bit like you got to work hard. Just work hard, and if the C is what you get, amazing. You put your best effort forward. If
Yeah.
the C is what you get and you give it zero effort and you could have got it an A, I'm just going to say about it. But if you're kind and you're polite and you're respectful, I'll be thrilled if my kids are those things.
And they already are, so that's perfect.
And if they turn out not to be, woof.
No, I'm sure that's impossible.
I hope so. I hope that we're giving them the tools. Anyways, we're definitely providing them the tools to be those three things. And if they choose a different path, well, I'll have something to say about it. I'll have choice words.
You won't have to worry about that. But
I hope not.
as a parent, like I think it's all about kind of leading by example, and like as a person, who you are, like everyone that knows you knows, like whenever they see you, there's always like positive energy radiating, and you're always like uplifting. In every room you walk into, you like light up the room, like, oh, Sarah's here, and it's not like you don't try to do that. It's just who you are as a person, and I think like how do you like, especially with your job and coordinating events, and maybe it can be stressful or like high pressure situations, but like how do you always stay positive and uplifting no matter what situation it might be?
Don't. I try to. I try to go into situations with the best attitude. And again, I have that quote in the back of my head, like, I'm not going to lose, I'm going to win, or I'm going to learn. So just go in, balls to the walls, give it all you got. And am I going to get the result I'm looking for if I go in there being, depressive, bitchy, obnoxious? Probably not. Am I going to get the result that I'm looking for? And am I going to get the reaction from people that I'm looking for if I go in there being positive, pleasant, happy? Probably. Like, the chances are a bit stronger anyway. So I'll try to choose that route all the time. I'm still have my moments where, and unfortunately my husband's probably the one that experiences the most, where I'm like deflated and annoyed and frustrated, and like I still have all of those emotions. Don't kid yourself. I just I choose a time and a place to sort of unleash those emotions, and that's usually in private at home, because the people around me aren't necessarily especially strangers. They don't have deserving of my shitty attitude. Nor is my husband, don't get me wrong. He just happens to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. He just happens to live here.
You just happen to be
He just happens to be here. Sorry. But no, and then I think with that is like a combination of a good therapist and good wine. Good therapy, good wine, and a good husband. Good partner.
But I think
no particular order.
In those specific orders that we said.
Yeah.
But when I think about you and Ty, I think like you guys are such the perfect match, because I think he calms you down, like he's always there to listen, and he's very like calm and kind demeanor, and he's always there, and he might not I think he no matter what, he always shows up, and I think he's like the rock.
He 100% is the rock, and we joke all the time, like, he'll never die of a heart attack. That man will never die of a heart attack, because he's the most like chilled out he's on one level at all times. Even in his most excited moments, he's still just vibrating here. Like, he's just so chill, so relaxed, which is exactly what I need in a partner, to bring me down, to ground me every once in a while, because I live up here 90% of the time. I live in my own bubble, but he brings me back down.
And you probably bring him up sometimes, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and he laughs at my jokes. That helps.
Well, you are probably one of the funniest persons I know, so it's pretty easy.
Oh, I don't know about that, but yeah, I do. Again, circling right back to the beginning, I love humor. And I think that I'm not calling myself intelligent by any means here, but I think that really funny people require a certain level of intellect. And I think that that's so interesting, and that's what attracts me to funny people, is like they're usually like brilliant minded, and I try to be that.
Yeah, and I think that's what you do, right? And then I think laughter, it allows people to feel comfortable a lot, like we were mentioning. And I think the best thing about your relationship with Ty, I think you bring out the best in one another, right? And that's what it is in a good relationship, is bringing out the best and helping each other through obstacles and challenges, and just being there for one another. And I think it's absolutely perfect.
Yeah, I would agree. He's an amazing human being. And have, I would say, a really top-notch relationship and marriage, and strive to live the rest of my life with that man. If
Yep.
he'll allow me. If he'll put up with me.
I'm sure you have nothing to worry about. But I feel like I've already taken up so much of your time. But there's one question I always ask to finish it off. And like the reason why I asked you to be on this is because you're one of the best. You're such an amazing person, and you're always so kind, and you're such an amazing person. And I've learned so much from you, and to see the lighter things of life, to be a good-hearted human being, to be a good person, to treat others with so much respect and love people for who they are. And I guess my last question would be like because you're such a good person, like what do you how do you want to inspire the next generation of good-hearted people because you are a good-hearted person yourself?
Oh, that's yeah. How do I want to inspire them? I hope that the next generation of people, especially where the world is at right now, just doesn't take it too seriously. Like, go through it, ride the wave, find the humor, find the light moments in life, and like embrace those light moments because the world is so chaotic. The life we live is so chaotic. Just find some of those lighter moments and hold on to them and search for them and just remember to be kind to one another because you're always going to be faced with adversity and challenges and it's going to be hard. Life is fucking hard. It's going to be hard.
Yeah.
But choose your heart. Do you want to go in there and be like "Meh, meh, 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 meh," and battle, or do you want to go in and be like, whoa, that's a little bit too much for me. Ha ha ha. Let's find a joke here. I'm out. I'll take the next route. Thanks so much. And do that. Do that. It's okay to take another route. It's okay to not hop on the same train and the same bus as everyone else where they're all, going to war with each other. Yeah, I'll take the next bus. No thanks. So just find the bus that is best for you and embrace it.
Find the best that's best for you. I love that.
Yeah. And I
I
hope
think
my
it's the
kids,
perfect way to
I
end
hope
it, Sarah.
one day my kids will do exactly that.
Oh, I'm sure they will. There's no doubt in my mind. Oh, this is awesome. You did so great.
Ah, I was so nervous.
Thank you so much, Sarah. You are the
Thank
best.
you.
I'm forever, forever grateful for you.
Same, Ryan. I love you so much.